Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Large depositors of cooperatives silent on mishandling of their money out of fear of having to furnish the sources. Parliamentary committee begins works for draft regulation. Nepal, a victim of impacts of climate change. Mountains losing snow due to fast rising temperatures. Tarai affected due to Jude exploitation. Number of disasters on the rise. Narendra Modi said to be India's Prime Minister for a third time, a day after humbling election results which saw his majority slashed by a resurgent opposition. And Ireland gives India a victory target of 97 runs at the ICC T20 World Cup match underway in New York. Despite the formation of Parliamentary Probe Committee to investigate fraud related to cooperatives, the police mechanism has continued its investigation into the abuse of billions of rupees deposited at cooperatives. There are only a few cooperative operators abusing large amount of money, figuring billions of rupees. The daily wage workers who deposited their savings have been protesting with demands of return of their money. However, a few individuals with large amount of money deposited at the cooperatives have remained silent. Police investigation has identified the need to investigate the source of funds deposited at the cooperatives. Investigations have raised questions on the source of funds deposited at a few ones. Only a few operators of cooperatives from among 31,000 across the country have abused the funds. However, as the hundreds of thousands of depositors have begun demanding the return of their deposits, cooperatives operated in a sound manner are also likely to face problems. The Parliamentary Probe Committee has the jurisdiction of investigating 29 cooperatives, but the police department had been investigating all of them from the initial round. A total of 92 cases have been filed during investigations conducted by the police across the country in the past 10 months. With 192 individuals arrested, abuse of 64 billion rupees has been discovered. Investigation has shown that 22 billion rupees was abused at Shiva Shikhar Cooperative alone, while more than 2 billion rupees was abused by the operators of Deorali Savings and Credit Cooperatives. However, with only 162 depositors filing complaints demanding the return of only 650 million rupees so far. With this amount figuring very less than the amount abused by the operators, police is struggling to find the source of the total deposits and the whereabouts of the money. Questions have also surfaced regarding the Parliamentary Probe Committee's capacity to return 59,380 million rupees of the depositors of 29 cooperatives under its jurisdiction, as most operators of the cooperatives are at large and the money is suspected to have been sent abroad through illegal channels. Despite the fact of abuse of billions of rupees surfacing each year, inefficiency of the regulating authority has increased the risk of deposits never being recovered. Police has not investigated the source of money of those operating businesses through the funds from cooperatives. 7,381,218 depositors have saved their life earnings at cooperatives. At a time when the government, through its budget, has announced of addressing the plight of the victims, stakeholders have said that Parliamentary Probe Committee should include experts to ensure the return of the savings. The real victims of cooperatives are protesting with the demand of return of their hard-earned money. In addition to that, there are doubts regarding the deposits of funds through illegal sources. Therefore, it is imperative for the Parliamentary Probe Committee to conduct required investigations also through the lens of money laundering. The first meeting of the Parliamentary Committee to probe into irregularities in cooperatives was held in the Parliament building in New Baneshore earlier today. The meeting, including Speaker Devraj Khimire, Committee's Chair Surya Bahadur Thapa, along with its members, has given the Secretariat time till Friday to prepare the draft of its regulation, which will be finalized after that, according to Thapa. Another member of the committee, Ishwari Nyopane, said the committee is preparing to complete its tasks within the given time frame of 3 months. She added that the committee would work within its jurisdiction and furnish a report on the troubled cooperatives. A 7-member parliamentary committee was formed to probe into the case on 28th of May, following repeated protests from main opposition Nepali Congress at the parliament for the same, who alleged the involvement of Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane in the fraud case. The committee has been assigned the responsibility of probing 29 cooperatives within 3 months' time. However, it can also look into any additional complaints that it receives during the time period. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal is making preparations to withdraw ministers from his own party to maintain equation with fringe parties and independent lawmakers. He has already revised the Council of Ministers 12 times previously. With the cabinet set to be revised for the 13th time, Deputy Chair of Janamat Party Abdul Khan and Nagarik Unmukti Party Chair Ranjita Shrestha are certain to be appointed ministers. Leaders of the ruling coalition have claimed that members of fringe parties are to be included in the Council of Ministers to secure the extension of the current government. While the Prime Minister holds the right to make necessary changes in the cabinet, Dahal has been making revisions to protect his position and has also chosen an unethical route of splitting parties. Premier Dahal is such an individual who has received the vote of confidence from almost all members of the House of Representatives through different alliances formed so far. However, he is the same politician who is suspected of making an unexpected move at any point of time. When Dahal sought the vote of confidence for the first time this term as the Prime Minister, 91% of the members of the lower house had granted him the approval. However, his trust vote has been on a gradual decline since then. Parties of the current ruling alliance are not entirely happy with the Prime Minister. With doubts over the longevity of the government, Premier Dahal has preferred a backup plan to include members from Janamat and Nagarik Unmukti and a few independent lawmakers in his cabinet. Splitting other parties and withdrawing ministers from his own party to manipulate members of the opposition are steps taken by the Prime Minister that are against parliamentary values. However, his activities are evidence to the fact that Premier Dahal is indifferent towards the constitutional and parliamentary ethics. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we asked you, why do you think medicines and vaccines are going to waste? 18% voted for option A over procurement, 16% for B, procurement of medicines nearing expiry, and 66% for C, sluggish distribution. Yesterday's question, what message is Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal trying to give as he prepares to shuffle his cabinet for the 13th time? Your options are A, will do everything to sustain his government, B, it's a compulsion, and C, fostering unstable politics. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The government of Madhya province led by Janata Samajwadi has collapsed as Chief Minister Saroj Kumar Yadav could not garner the vote of confidence from the Provincial Assembly. Chief Minister Yadav could only receive 50 votes in his favour as opposed to 53 against. Today's session was attended by 103 out of the 107 members of the Provincial Assembly. Yadav required 54 votes to clear the floor test. However, he only received 19 from his own party, 22 from Nepali Congress, 8 from Loktantrik Samajwadi and 1 from Rashtriya Prajatantra Party. CPN-UML's 24, Janamat's 13, Maoist Centre's 9, CPN Unified Socialists 7 had voted against him. Yadav had taken the floor test as required by the constitutional provision of taking the vote of confidence within 30 days of a change in government equation as Janata Samajwadi Party Nepal had split earlier. On 12th of May, CPN-UML and CPN Maoist Centre had also withdrawn their support to the Madhya province government. And then on 4th of June, CPN Unified Socialists had withdrawn their support. Yadav had been appointed Chief Minister of the province on 11th of January 2023. With this, Janata Samajwadi has exited the Madhya government for the first time in 6 years' time. The party's Lal Babu Raut had led the previous government for 5 years. Now, increasing pollution has had a severe impact on the entire universe. World Environment Day was observed or has been organized, in fact, for the past 50 years to curb destruction of the environment. However, instead of reducing pollution, it is only increasing further, the larger impact of which is faced by least developed countries like Nepal. Nepal has faced 2 massive environment-related disasters in the past 2 months. Forest fires across the country increased air pollution and affected public lives, while the smoke from industries and factories covered the sky over most cities of the country, including Kathmandu Valley. The area surrounding Rara Lake was also reported to be polluted. Impact of pollution has been increasing in Nepal in recent years. Encroachment of Jude region and abuse of its natural resources have led to drying of water sources. Temperature is also increasing during the winter season, and despite the increase in forest area, destruction is being invited by allowing the operation of industries and factories in the forest area through policy-level decisions. Due to these steps, wild animals are entering human settlements. The amount of snow at mountains is on a decline, while glacial lakes are increasing because of the melting of snow caused by greenhouse gases. Risks of glacial lake outburst flares have also increased. Despite all these disasters, the government of Nepal has failed to make the best use of international forums to raise its concerns and make required progress. Nepal has a little role to play in the destruction of environment happening around the world. However, it has been facing the largest of impacts. In our Public Voice segment, today we've asked in several provinces what role should communities play in protecting the environment. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
फोहोर मैलाहरू जथाभावी फाकेर वातावरणलाई धमिल्याउने असर पार्ने खालका कामहरू गर्न हुँदैन।
राज्यले मात्रै सम्भव छैन, समुदाय नै हामी सबै चाहिँ लागेर यसलाई चाहिँ सबै चेतनामूलक ढंगले जनचेतना फैलाउने।
रुख रोप्नु पर्यो, जथाभावी डोजर लाउनु भएन।
केमिकलहरुको कम प्रयोग गरौं अनि हाम्रा चाहिँ नि खाली भएका क्षेत्रहरुमा विभिन्न किसिमका बिरुवाहरू चाहिँ लगाउँ।
वनमा डडेलो नलगाउँ, वनलाई बचाउँ।
धेरै भन्दा धेरै रुख रोप्नु पर्यो, हरियाली बढाउनु पर्यो।
नदी नालाहरूलाई सुरक्षित संरक्षण गर्नु पर्यो, जथाभावी त्यसमा नदी नालाले फोहोरहरू गर्नु भएन।
वन जंगल फडाली गर्न भएन, डाडेलो लगाउनु भएन।
घर अगाडि एउटा सके दुईटा तीनटा नसके एउटा भए पनि जति आफ्नो जग्गा क्षेत्रफलमा छ रुख रोप्ने।
प्लास्टिकहरुको यो चाहिँ यिनीहरुको सही ठाउँमा सदुपयोग गर्ने
जनचेतनामूलक कार्यक्रम गर्नुपर्छ, यसलाई निरन्तरता दिनुपर्छ, अभियानका रूपमा लैजानुपर्छ।
हामीले त्यो फालेको फोहोरहरूलाई चाहिँ रियुज गर्न सकिन्छ, रिसाइकल गरेर कुनै कुरामा युज गर्न सकिन्छ।
सडक लगायतका पूर्वाधार निर्माणको चरणमा चाहिँ धेरै डोजरहरू प्रयोग गर्ने, धेरै चाहिँ खन्ने कामले गर्दा वातावरण बिग्रिया छ, त्यसलाई नियन्त्रण गर्नुपर्छ।
समुदायमा निक्लेको फोहोर मैलालाई चाहिँ समुदायले नै व्यवस्थित गर्नु चाहिँ आवश्यक छ।
Narendra Modi is set to be India's Prime Minister for a third time, a day after humbling election results, which saw his majority slashed by a resurgent opposition. Modi was backed to be Prime Minister again following a meeting with his National Democratic Alliance (NDA). The 73-year-old had found himself unexpectedly reliant on the NDA's smaller parties to reach a parliamentary majority after his own party fell short of the 272 needed to form the next government. However, the opposition, which won 234 seats to the NDA's 292, has yet to formally concede. It was holding its own meeting on Wednesday in the capital Delhi to discuss next steps. Modi is likely to be sworn in for a record-equaling third term later this week. He and his Hindu nationalists, Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP), won 240 seats following the weeks-long 7-stage election, making them the largest party in the Lok Sabha, India's lower house. But it is a significantly reduced number for the Prime Minister. In 2019, the BJP had won 303 seats, and Modi had said he was aiming for 370 seats this time around. According to an NDA release, he was unanimously chosen as their leader at the meeting at his Delhi residence. Meanwhile, the opposition India coalition has been celebrating the results despite not winning. It's time now for another short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's time now for Sports Update.
Sports News.
Ireland have posted a target of 97 runs to India at the ICC T20 World Cup. In the match underway at Nassau County International Cricket Stadium in New York, India had chose to field first. Ireland went all out for 96 runs in 16 overs. Gareth Delaney was the highest run scorer for Ireland with 26 runs in 14 balls. Andy Balbirnie returned to the pavilion with 5. Captain Paul Stirling for 2. Lorcan Tucker was out for 10 runs. Harry Tector 4. Curtis Camphor contributed 12 runs and Joss Little 14. George Dockrell and Mark Adair each scored 3 runs. Barry McCarthy failed to open his account. Hardik Pandya claimed 3 wickets and Arshdeep Singh and Jasprit Bumrah claimed 2 wickets each. Mohammad Siraj and Akshar Patel had 1 scalp each. As per our latest update, India have scored 76 runs in 10 overs, losing 1 wicket. The former women national champion Sindira Joshi has been selected for the 45th Chess Olympiad in Budapest, Hungary. Joshi maintained top position in the 24th Open and 9th National Women Chess Tournament to qualify for the Olympiad. She collected 8 points from 5 days of the tournament. The World Olympiad is slated for 9th to 23rd of September. Top-rated player and Nepal champion Sujana Lohani has already qualified for the tournament. 5 female players will play in the Olympiad and the remaining 3 players will be decided tomorrow. In the men's category, Jhapa's Rajan Subedi has maintained a lone lead, winning 6 games and drawing 1 so far. The Nepal Chess Association has locked Vivek Singh and Nepal champion Rupesh Jaiswal for the Olympiad. 3 remaining players will be decided from the ongoing tournament, as the winner, the runner-up and 3rd place will join Singh and Jaiswal for the Olympiad. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.